So I was like, I'm gonna have to have that conversation with him. I'm gonna have to tell him that I'm literally a vampire.
People think that being a vampire isn't real.
Welcome back, everyone. Somehow, against all odds, we're here again for another wild ride. Today's video is like a deja vu moment, eerily similar to something I tackled before, yet even more out there. Honestly, if you told me I'd need to make a sequel to that, I'd have laughed. But hey, here we are. Things are just spiraling into the bizarre, people. Now, the video we're diving into today? Oh, it's a doozy. But it's also one I think every single one of you is going to relate to in some way. Yes, you too, Larry from accounting. Remember that one kid in school? You know the one. Maybe they were in elementary or middle school. Didn't matter. They swore up and down they were something fantastical. Maybe a wizard, a werewolf, or even an anime character, claiming it like it was their social security number. In my school, we had a girl who fully believed she was a witch. She'd mix up her potions, read sketchy liquid concoctions, and toss them around like confetti. Pretty sure one was just straight up bleach. Spells were cast, threats of hexes flew, and did we tell an adult? Absolutely not. We were 8 and terrified she'd turn us into frogs. Then middle school came along, and oh boy, it got weirder. I knew this couple, yes, a middle school couple, who went full vampire. They'd bite each other during lunch like it was dessert. Honestly, the commitment was kind of impressive, if not concerning. But here's the thing, I feel like this is a universal experience. We all knew at least one person like this. The real question, what happens when they hit, say, 15 and think, maybe it's time to retire the werewolf act? Or worse, what about the ones who don't give it up? The ones who go full send into their mythical persona? Today's video is an answer to that question. Buckle up, folks, because this video, titled, I Married a Real-Life Vampire and Lost All My Friends, this is about a woman who swears she's a vampire.
Today we're gonna go on a picnic, but I have to prepare my skin. The sun affects me in a pretty negative way. Like, I remember growing up, all my friends were always having fun, running around in the sun, and I would always get headaches. And I would always get made fun of for having headaches all the time.
Yeah.
The sun makes me very nauseous.
The sun is your biggest hater.
People think that being a vampire isn't real. They mock me and say, do, and, I want to suck your blood. And, they think I'm just a character. And I think people get confused because my job is to live stream on TikTok as a fictional vampire. All these trolls online saying I'm fat and ugly and not a real vampire. No, it's the sun. It's the sun that does it.
Zero neck holes in sight. And then there's the decor, because nothing screams vampire lair quite like an $8 Party City Halloween banner in the background. The vibes are immaculate, but not in the way she's hoping. As she explains her energy feeding, I'm both fascinated and baffled.
Today I'm gonna do a deep feed on Sean.
Are you ready for me to take some of your energy?
Please.
There are different types of energy. There's ambient energy, which is the energy that's around people and not on them. And that's usually what I take. Big events where there's a lot of people and there's a lot of good hype. That energy is in the air, and I usually tend to just take it all in. And for like a deep feeding, which would be like me trying to take his energy, that would need consent.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Like I'm gonna sneeze.
We met about maybe 2-3 years ago at a steakhouse in downtown where we live. I think I learned about the vampire thing very early on.
I realized I was a vampire probably late 2021.
She's out here talking about soaking up vibes from crowded places like she's the Wi-Fi signal at a concert, but then she casually mentions that a deep feed, whatever that means, requires consent. And hey, just to be clear, I'm a big advocate for consent. Top tier concept, love it. But let's be real, vampires in fiction are not exactly known for their impeccable manners. Have you seen Dracula? No one's signing waivers in that story. Now, let's pause and unpack her big reveal. She realized she was a vampire in late 2021. What does that even mean? Like, you either are or you aren't, right? You don't just wake up one day, sip your coffee, and have an epiphany. Oh wow, I'm undead. There's usually a whole process. Getting bitten, immortality, all that jazz. But hey, maybe 2021 was a weird year for all of us. And let's talk about her husband's reaction. She tells him she's a vampire, and he's just fine with it. No raised eyebrow, no, wait, are you okay? Just a casual, cool, so, Thai or Italian for dinner. If someone dropped that kind of bomb on me, I'd be questioning everything, starting with their sanity. But his non-reaction makes me wonder, what's his deal? Then she hits us with, I don't drink blood, that's not my thing. Lady, you just lost your vampire license. The whole point is the blood. That's literally the defining trait. Without it, you're just someone who really likes Halloween. But hey, she's doubling down on this energy vampire thing. For those keeping score, that term usually describes people who drain everyone's vibe at a party, not supernatural beings. So, self-burn? And then there's TikTok. Ah yes, the great equalizer of cringe and creativity. Turns out she's all over TikTok doing this vampire shtick, and suddenly everything makes sense. As with so many things in life, the answer is always, it's porn adjacent. Whether it's puppy play, cat ears, or in this case, vampirism, it's always cosplay for the internet masses. Honestly, props for monetizing the niche.
And that's kind of when I said it out loud. I always knew I was different. Like, did you think I was a crazy person when I told you I was a vampire?
No.
No?
Mm.
Okay, good.
Like, she likes blood sausage, though.
I do like blood sausage. I think that blood sausage is chef's kiss.
I'm gonna wear this dress paired with this wig because this is the classic vampire Helly wig. So I think it's only logical that I would wear this.
He knew the way that I dressed. He knew that I was on TikTok and did like all this vampire stuff there.
Here's my 2 cents. If you're going to go public with a claim like, I'm a vampire, you'd better be ready for skepticism.
Yes, fuck.
When I was on the front page of the paper, I thought that people were going to be a little bit nicer than they were. And I got a bunch of comments on Facebook of people saying I'm ugly, I am not a real vampire and a sinner, and that I'm delusional.
We're leaving town because my wife is a vampire.
I was tired of living a lie, pretending that I was normal. And I wanted to finally come out and say, this is me. I'm not a good Christian lady. I'm a freaking vampire, you know?
Okay.
And sure, trolls suck. No one deserves to be called ugly or harassed online, but let's not pretend you didn't see this coming. Claiming to be a mythical bloodsucker and expecting everyone to nod along is a choice.
Today we're gonna go on a picnic, but I have to prepare my skin. The sun affects me in a pretty negative way. Like, I remember growing up, all my friends were always having fun, you know, running around in the sun, and I would always get headaches. And, you know, I would always get made fun of for having headaches all the time.
Yeah.
The sun makes me very nauseous.
The sun is your biggest hater.
People think that being a vampire isn't real. They you know, mock me and say, 1, 2, and, you know, I want to suck your blood. And, you know, they think I'm just a character. And I think people get confused because my job is to live stream on TikTok as a fictional vampire. All these trolls online saying I'm fat and ugly and not a real vampire. No, it's the sun. It's the sun that does it for me.
So what do you all think? Am I being too harsh here? Or does this all feel like one big kink masquerading as self-expression? Honestly, I think we all know what's going on. It's cosplay, it's TikTok, it's a niche she's carved out, and good for her. But let's call a spade a spade. Vampires aren't real, and no amount of garlic tolerance is going to change that. If you had fun with this video, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe, and stick around. Who knows what bizarre corner of the internet we'll explore next? Stay weird, my friends.